The topic is trigonometric integrals. So let's do this example. Integral of tangent x secant cube of x. So this is the type, is the definition. This is the type integral tangent m of x secant n of x dx when m is odd. In other words, the power of tangent is odd. It's equal 1, so it's odd. In that case, you want to isolate one tangent of x and one secant of x. So this will be equal what? Well, there's only one tangent, so we need to isolate it. So let me isolate one secant from here. So this is the same thing as secant square of x times secant of x, right? Well, isolate one tangent, so I'm gonna rewrite it here. No, it looks funny, right? So let's rewrite integral here. Why? Because we want to use the secant tangent as a du. So this is our goal. So what would be the u? The u will be secant of x. So the u will be secant of x. Du will be secant tangent dx. So think about it. This is just, what do we want to call? Let's call this 1. 1 happened just to be, secant is a u, so u square du, which is equal to u3 over 3 plus a constant, and then replace the u by secant and you're done. So it's secant cube of x over 3 plus c. Let me rewrite. Right, so this is the answer. Oops. Alright, now let's do second example. Integral of tangent cube of x secant cube of x. Same thing. The power of tangent is odd, so we pull one tangent and one secant. So this will be equal to, if we pull one tangent, we'll have tangent square left. And then we pull one secant, we'll have secant square left. So this will be secant tangent, right? Dx, and of course we want this to be du. In other words, we want the u, let me write it here, we want the u to be the secant, right? Why secant? Because du will be secant tangent, right? Now we have a problem. This will be u squared, but what about tangent? Therefore we use this identity. So this will be equal integral tangent squared is just secant squared minus 1 times secant squared times secant tangent dx. Now we know this is going to be reserved for du, so this will be what, u squared, and this will be u squared minus 1. So let me rewrite it here. This is going to be integral u squared minus 1 u squared du. Now distribute, you get u4 minus u squared du. This is an easy integral. That would be u5 over 5 minus u3 over 3 plus some constant. Then I'll go back and replace the u by secant. This will be secant 5 of x over 5 minus secant cube of x over 3 plus c, and we're done.